Turkey tries to exist in a very difficult region. Our neighbors are not Norway, Denmark, Sweden. Turkey's neighbors are Syria, Iran, Iraq, Russia. However, internally, Turkey has been sliding backwards very fast. This is a country that has been shaken by a series of terror attacks. It's a country where authoritarianism, nationalism, Islamic fundamentalism, all three of them have been on the rise. Today, Turkey became the world's main jailer for journalists, surpassing even China. There are more than 150 journalists in Turkey's prisons. The crackdown on the intelligentsia has been especially severe and sharp, so intellectuals, scholars, artists, cartoonists, and I especially mention cartoonists because I think one of the first things you lose as a society and regime become more and more authoritarian, one of the very first things you lose is a sense of humor. You can't laugh at politicians anymore. Suddenly everything is too heavy. For a proper democracy to exist, the ballot box is only one of the requirements. There are many other requirements. Of course, free elections are respected, but in addition to that, you need rule of law. You definitely need separation of powers and checks and balances. You need a free media, free independent media. For a government to be, and for a society to be a proper democracy, there has to be a culture of coexistence that welcomes diversity, that welcomes differences, ethnic differences, ideological differences, and that's what we've lost in Turkey. Personally, I don't want anyone in Turkey to be too powerful. We are a society that has the shape of democracy, but not a proper culture of democracy. For that to happen, we need to go a long way. So what I'm concerned about is a monopoly of power and the complete loss of separation of powers. This is why what's happening right now with the referendum, with the change in constitutions, with the delegation of extraordinary powers to the president, all of that process I find very, very worrisome because it's undermining a proper separation of powers, which is vital and essential for a democracy to exist. Turkish case has shown us that time doesn't necessarily always go forwards. Sometimes it draws circles. Sometimes we make the same mistakes that our ancestors made. Sometimes time goes backwards.